Well, good morning, class of 1984. This is Mark Stevens, and I'm here joined by Mark Blackwell, our co-chair. We're excited to be here for another opportunity with our video series, and today we've got David Peacock and Rob Rennebaum. But before we talk with them, I wanted just to kind of give a quick update. We are making great progress in our goals. Let me start with our overall goal of $1,984,000. We have now exceeded $2 million. So we're greater than 100% of that goal. With our participation rates, our goal is 65%, and we're at about a little over 40% right now. So we have some opportunities there. And I would remind everyone that Tuesday, March 26th is our giving day. And we really want to make a big push there that day, since this is the year, of course, of our 40th reunion. We're about 7 or 8 months away. So exciting time. And there'll be more coming out about Giving Day on, again, Tuesday, March 26th. And then our final metric of goal is, of course, the 1984 scholarship. And we're currently a little greater than 40% of goal. We do have some gifts pending that we hope to have more information on that very soon. But we believe that Giving Day could have a significant impact on that as well. So that's just kind of a quick recap. We will go through more specifics with our next class committee call and our next video. But again, we continue to make progress. We need our company representatives and battalion representatives to continue to reach out, first and foremost, for participation in the 40th, and then secondly, for our goals as well, financial goals. So with all that said, I will turn it over to Mark Blackwell to introduce our guest today.
All right. So thank you, Mark, for that introduction and bringing us up to date on the campaign. And now we want to turn to a couple of our classmates who we always enjoy highlighting, a couple of people who have been involved in our campaign or involved with the school over the years. And apologies to Mark, because today's call is 75% golf company. And a couple of my friends from golf have joined us today. And we're going to talk about how they are involved with the school today and how they have been involved for years with the Citadel, and maybe some ideas for some of you out there, for me and others, how we can get involved. Some of us have been for many years. We talked to X a while ago and saw that in his background. Some of us have just kind of re-engaged recently. And I think this will be informative of things that we can do beyond our campaign for over the next year, but then beyond that as well, to continue to contribute to the school. So let's start off introducing David Peacock, Rob Rennebaum. I'm going to start with David for no particular reason except P comes before R in the alphabet. David was in golf company with us and joined the Marine Corps afterwards, has had a lot of jobs since then in the corporate world, and currently leads a company in Arkansas. And something that may not come out as David talks, but I remember David a few years ago during the Trump administration, one company from each state, and you correct me where I get this wrong, but was asked to come to the White House and represent that state. And your company was selected. You got to go to the White House to represent Arkansas as the president of High Trial. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah. I tell a story when we were the last company, the last state in the row. And so he had a lot of time to kill before the press conference. And so we got into a conversation about business and such. And at the end of it, he sort of leaned in to shake my hand, and I misunderstood the cue and gave him a little bro hug at the same time. And he's Pence is looking at me, and he's looking at me. The Secret Service is looking at me, and I thought I was going to get ran out of the place. But it was a great experience for the company and for me.
Well, good. So tell us a little bit about where you are today and how you have worked with the school for years and how you continue to work with the Citadel.
Yeah, just a little bit. I'm with High Trial. I've been here 10 years now. We've been on a growth spurt for the last, since pre-COVID. But I've got about 1,500 people, 140 engineers. Almost all of them are mechanical engineers. And so we use the school to not to get ahead, but we use the school as a recruiting base both for interns in the summertime and also to recruit them to come to Jonesboro to participate. We make high-speed sortation equipment from everybody from Amazon to our 3PL and across the board, so that they can move their product through retail distribution networks.
So I know you've done some work with interns there, also hiring some alumni. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have a pretty aggressive internship program, and we actively look. We look around. We're in Northeast Arkansas. It's 4 hours to the University of Arkansas from us, and so we've just arbitrarily drawn a 4-hour ring around our location, and any university inside that ring we recruit from. The only exception being the Citadel. We actively go to the Citadel on a regular basis and try to recruit kids to come over. It's an 8-week program. Very competitive, but I might put my thumb on the scale a little bit when we go through the selection process for any of our cadets that are interested in coming over to Jonesboro for a little bit.
So y'all have a few alumni working for you currently.
We do. We got there's 4 of us. I've got 3 engineers that work in the engineering department, and trying to grow that. One of the things that Citadel engineering programs really get out ahead on that attracts my attention is their AI. You can get an AI minor, or they're working on developing an AI minor for their engineers. And we have a pilot program right now using AI to help us with our designs. We've got 20 years in our electronic vault, and being able to search those and use those for incoming orders. Using AI is something that's a huge opportunity for us. And the fact that the Citadel's educating engineers and exposing them to AI jointly makes them a very attractive partner for us.
You and I knew where we were going to work when we graduated, but a lot of students don't. So I imagine that's quite a relief to them to have companies actively engaged in the hiring process with the school. How'd you get involved in that?
Well, I stepped away from the Citadel for about 25 years when I was in the Marine Corps, and then in early on in my corporate career, not just because I was so focused on those activities. And then I got an opportunity to come to the 25th reunion, and after that, I really got involved. And when I came up here and I saw how many engineers we had, and I working with all of y'all, the experience, you understand the what it takes to get through the Citadel. And I thought, if I can get some of those guys that bring that same tenacity to our organization, then we'd benefit from it. So one of the things that I've put in place is we have a director for academic partnerships, and she goes to all the universities and she represents us. And I sent her to the Citadel a couple of times. She made some great connections. We go over there 3 or 4 times a year to meet with folks in various different departments. And so it just sort of happened organically.
So you've been providing some internships. I know you're supporting the Summer Succeed program also. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, we do a couple of different programs to try to give back. Community is one of our 6 core values. And so one of the programs we do is the Bulldog program for freshman engineering students, to try to help them acclimatize to being at the Citadel. It's a program that the engineering school runs, and so we're an active participant and sponsor for that. The other one is the Succeed program, which is a summer program. And people may or may not know, it was a struggle for me in my early years as a kid, and I was fortunate that I got the scholarship from the Marine Corps. And then a lot of the scholarships at the Citadel, people may not realize that even though you have a full ride from the Marine Corps or the Army or whomever, that doesn't cover all the bills. And so there were a lot of scholarships at the Citadel that I was able to, $500 scholarships here or there, that made a huge difference. And so a lot of people opened a lot of doors to help me get to the Citadel, and then through my career to get to where I am today. And Succeed's one of those programs that allows cadets to go back and help kids in the community that are a little disadvantaged, and give them some insights into what's possible in their lives. And so it's a program that doesn't help the company at all. I mean, obviously, it's being 500-600 miles away, we're not going to be impacted by what goes on in Charleston, but at the same time, it's an opportunity for us to make a difference in kids' lives. And so I use my position to to participate in that program, even though there's not a direct benefit to High Troll itself.
Yeah, thank you. Well, thank you for all you're doing with the Citadel. Thank you for re-engaging after 24 years, and you and I have had the opportunity to re-engage after a long time. So,
Yeah.
you know, Bobby and Amy have become friends, and it's just one of the wonderful things about this campaign. And looking forward to homecoming is the opportunity for us to re-engage with all of our classmates. So, thanks for that reminder as well.
Well, thank you. We really enjoyed getting to reconnect with you and Bobby and the whole crowd, even Rob.
Even Rob.
Well, and let's turn our attention to Rob. And those of you who know Rob know that he had that will be drawn. Your eyes will be drawn to that uniform behind him that he borrowed. And Rob can tell us more about that. We were just sharing a conversation that I recalled a conversation that Rob and I had before. I don't remember, probably before his junior year or so, maybe. And he was going to have as I remember, a summer job where he was going to be counting cars for an engineering company. And help me understand that, and tell us how far you've come since then, Rob.
Boy, it's been a fun 40-year run. First of all, good morning to everybody. This is like homecoming. We got our golf company boys and Mark Stevens. Good morning, everybody. And Christine, you're off in the wings there, but thank you to you for organizing this. I never understood the Citadel Foundation and what they did for the fundraising arm of the school. But now Christine is with the foundation, and our engineering program has a foundation representative. So I'm understanding all the work they do behind the scenes. So thank you, Christine. I graduated in '84 with a civil engineering degree. And I got my engineering Citadel shirt. Call out to Dean Williams, the Dean of the School of Engineering, for setting me up with a great shirt. And like you said, Mark, I've got a officer's uniform behind me. Anybody that knew me at school knew I was a senior private, but I have a partner here at work that was an officer, and I stole that from him when I saw Dave Peacock's officer uniform behind him and your sword, Blackwell, behind you. So I'm keeping up with the officers. I'm keeping up with you boys. But I graduated and was recruited for my first engineering job, by a Citadel grad, Bill Shepard. And I ended up in Tallahassee. I wanted to be in Florida for my geographic location. And I found out real quick that Tallahassee is more South Georgia than it is Florida. But the first thing they did was send me off to the Panhandle, Fort Walton Beach and Pensacola, for a month at a time, doing data collection, traffic collection for a hurricane evacuation study. And had a great time doing that. Got back to the office, and there was an actual Citadel grad 4 years ahead of us, an '80 grad, Paul Beidel, that was in our office. And he kind of mentored me. And that was kind of the start of the realization of the power of the alumni from the Citadel. And he left that job within about 6 months of me being there. And he called me up from Atlanta and said, "Rob, I got a great job up here, and I need a project engineer and I need a roommate. Move up here." So Paul Beidel in 1985 got me up to Atlanta, where I was there for a couple years working under a Citadel grad that taught me so much. But like all of us, our relationship went downhill when he met the girl of his dreams and said, "Rob, I don't need a roommate anymore. I got a better idea for a roommate." And that was the impetus I needed to come down to West Palm Beach, Florida, where I am now. And that was in '87. And I interviewed with 3 different firms, and one of them had just started. It was a 5-man firm that had been in business for about 4 years. And we talked for about 5 minutes about engineering and 3 hours about fishing and boating. I called my mom. I said, "Mom, I found a home. I'm coming to Simmons and White Engineers in West Palm Beach." And that was 1987. And I've been at the same desk for, I guess, 37 years now, 38 years. And actually, at the end of this year, I'm going to cut back, semi-retire. So it's been a good run. But during that time, I've recruited pretty heavily out of the Citadel. In 95, I recruited my first young engineer, guy by the name of Jeff Smith. And he was great sidekick, great protege, wonderful guy. But he did the same thing that Paul Beidel did and met the girl of his dreams, but she was from up north and they moved back up to Maryland. 97, I hired Greg Bolin and said, if you're going to date somebody or you're going to get married to somebody, they got to be a local girl. So our company policy is the Citadel boys that come down here have to marry local girls. And it's worked. We've got 7 Citadel folks here now. Greg from 97 is my partner, and in a leadership transition last year, preparing for my retirement, he is now the president of the firm. Kyle Duncan, a 99 grad, is vice president and is one of my partners. Paul Burry, a 2000 grad, senior project manager, married a local girl, has 6 kids, still local. We like them when they marry local and have a bunch of kids. And Paul was a linebacker on the Citadel football team. And in 2018, we hired Cody Floyd. And by coincidence, he was a CE grad and a linebacker on the football team. In 2021, 2022, we hired Eric Vettel. And by coincidence, he was a linebacker on the Citadel football team. And then last year, we hired Josh Gibson, a 23 grad. But we've got 7 of us here, 3 football players, all played the same position. We've got a great group of alumni. And it's still like a boys club. Very, very good work environment.
That's great, Rob. When did you kind of re-engage with the school? Was it kind of gradual or all of a sudden? How long has that been going on?
I have always done even right after graduation, starting out the $25 check to the foundation and then the $100 check. And I never knew what the foundation was. I don't know if it ever happened to you men, but I used to get calls from cadets that would volunteer for the fundraising drives. Mm-hmm. And those guys were so nice. And I'd say, yeah, put me down for $100. So that had always pretty much going on. And I think when we got our whole group of guys here, about 15 years ago, we said, we've got our own Citadel Club. Let's talk to the school and establish the Citadel Club of the Palm Beaches and Treasure Coast. And my partner Greg and I co-founded that. And we've had meetings in our office. We've hosted these great meetings. We get 30 to 50 alumni traveling from the South Florida area. The president of the Citadel, General Rosa, has been to our club meetings. General Walters has been down a couple times. I think the formation of that Citadel Club was really the start of the major re-engagement. And then another big engagement happened in 2018 when Paul Beidel, the original Citadel mentor to me, called me up and said, Rob, I've been serving on the School of Engineering Executive Advisory Board, and I'm getting ready to resign. And we were wondering if you'd be interested in serving on our engineering board. And by coincidence, our classmate, Larry Melton, was already serving on that board. And after a little investigation, I said, yeah, I'd love to. And now 5 years later of serving, Larry is actually the chairman of our engineering board, and I'm his vice chairman. So a couple of 84 grads are helping the dean and all the departments with the school. And I think you know that after Capers Hall and Bastion Hall, our engineering building, Letellier Hall, is next for major tear down and redo. And I think we've got a 65 million some odd round numbers drive going through the foundation. Christine, your sidekick, your peer engineering rep is Jane Martinko. And she's been great in engaging all us engineers towards that fundraising for this brand new building. So a lot going on for the last 15 years, plus having the Citadel alumni all around me in the office.
Well, great background. Thank you also, Rob, for all that you've done with the school. I was just thinking about vice chair. That's almost like having rank. So, we'll have to get you stripes for your uniform. Something we never thought Rob Rennebaum would have is rank. But
Mark, I appreciate your effort trying to get me a quasi rank. Thank you.
But really, thank you so much for all you do for the Citadel. I guess we have 10 or 11 more months left in our campaign for our class reunion. And this class is doing just an amazing job. And we have a financial goal. And, that can easily take over our thoughts and conversations and trying to lead the campaign with our committee. And, we talk a lot of numbers, but, in hearing you and David talk about what you're doing with the school in our past conversations, just kind of reiterates that this is about relationships. It's about the cadets that are there and those that are going to be coming in the future, them getting jobs afterwards. And David and Rob, both of you talking about mentoring the next generation of cadets and then leaders. So we really wanted to have this kind of conversation to talk about all the really valid ways that our class can get involved. Our graduates from 84 can get involved in partnering with the school, even beyond our campaign. Mark, what are your thoughts? Anything to add?
Well, it's just fascinating, David and Rob, both, your contribution to the Citadel in so many different ways, not only financially, but listening to your mentoring and hiring of Citadel grads is just amazing to me. So I think it's terrific. I got to know Paige Tisdale over the years. She used to be a part of the Career Center, and now she's at the foundation. But I know she's really passionate about, career development and helping kids starting freshman year. Are you going to the military or going to the private sector and that kind of thing. So I'm sure she's been instrumental in working with you guys over the years. But I think it's just terrific what you've done, and that you both have significant Citadel grads within your respective companies. So congrats on that. It really brings a different perspective to some of the other classmates that we've talked with as well.
And I saw you both several months ago, several weeks ago at the prior year's homecoming, and look forward to seeing you again in just a few months with the rest of our class. So thank you very much for joining us.
All right. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.